Some women don't chase, and yet they're never forgotten. She doesn't beg, she doesn't warn, she doesn't collapse under the weight of his silence. Because she understands something most never will, that what a man craves is often what he fears the most. In the stillness of night, when the world stops performing, he remembers her. Not for the things she said, but for the truths she never needed to explain. He met her as a woman, but what he saw was a mirror, and in her reflection, his masks began to crack. She didn't demand his attention, she evoked it. There's a kind of woman who awakens the anima in a man, his hidden feminine psyche, not by being soft, but by being whole. Whole in her silence, whole in her boundaries, whole in her mystery. Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." And that is what she became, his fate. But only because she triggered everything he had never dared to feel. What he feared most was that she saw too much. She saw the cracks in his confidence, the loneliness beneath his charm, the little boy behind the bravado, the rage he turned inward. And still, she didn't try to fix him. That's what made her dangerous. She didn't make his pain her project. She let him sit in it, bleed in it, grow in it. Most men are never taught to be held without being needed, to be seen without having to perform. So when she did both without trying, it undid something ancient in him. He projected his shadow onto her. She's cold, she's too much. She doesn't care. But beneath it all, he didn't want her to care. He wanted her to need him, and she never did. That terrified him more than losing her. She became the confrontation he never asked for, the one that demanded nothing but reflected everything. He wanted to possess her, but not touch her soul, because that would require him to touch his own. He wanted her to soften, so he wouldn't have to strengthen, to shrink, so he could remain inflated, to explain herself, so he could avoid explaining himself. But this woman was forged in the fires of detachment. She had done her shadow work. She had danced with abandonment, tasted rejection, and still kept her center. And when she walked away, she didn't slam the door. She didn't write a long message. She didn't turn around, pooh. Because women like her don't leave to punish. They leave when they're done witnessing a man betray his own potential. A man's deepest fear is not being alone. It's being seen entirely, raw, unperformed, and realizing he was never ready to meet the depth he asked for. And she was the depth. Not loud, not demanding, but holy. The woman who walks away in silence isn't weak. She simply sees more. And a man may spend his life searching for what he once had, but never held.